The French Empire marched to the sound of the guns once again in another NTW3 historical battlefield today. And today we have the Battle of Czarnowo, fought in 1806 between the Russian and Prussian empires against the French Empire. And yes, this is a glorious NTW3 battle we have set up. The French in history do win this one. It is a pretty decisive victory. Part of the War of the Fourth Coalition between the French, the Russians, and the Prussians. And will Napoleon be able to win it? Once again, we will find out. Or will the Russians and the Prussians change history once and for all? So yes, if you're new to the channel and would like to see some more NTW3 glorious cavalry charges, epic artillery barrages, and brilliant line battles, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really helps out the channel. But yes, we have a great battle here set up. I mean, this battle historically had between about 10 to 20,000 French. I mean, they like doubled, if not like quadrupled the size of the coalition forces, who had about 5,000 men. But they had double the guns of the French, which is kind of weird. You know, with Napoleon as an artillery commander, you thought he would have had more guns. And it certainly seems in this game that the cavalry, I think, superiority is going to be in favor of the coalition. As I've seen a lot of chasseurs cheval here by all the French corps being brought up. I haven't seen anything stronger than that, really. No dragoons, certainly no cuirassiers or carabineers or anything like that. So, yeah, just lots of chasseurs. Got some hussars all the way out here, I guess. Well, like, actually, 1806, they should still have, like, dragoons and stuff like that. Yeah, they got some hussars out here, but just a lot of light cav. But yeah, you can tell it's like 1806 corps. They still have, like, the sort of revolutionary style hat going on, and they look awesome. These are some grenadiers, the line here. And we've got some carabineers here as well, which are an elite, like, light infantry unit, almost a grenadier unit. Kind of look a little bit like guardsmen, really. And then we've got more Ligier over here as well. But yes, so I'm really excited for this one. We have got a glorious 4v4 here. I think we have 2 Russian and 2 Prussian. I think I'll just double check, actually. Or maybe 3 Russian and 1 Prussian, actually, I think, looking at it. Like, there's 1 Prussian general there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 Russian armies, 1 Prussian army. I thought they might go 50-50. Keep it even and Steven, but apparently not. We're going to have more Ruskies than Prussians here today. I guess at this point in the war, Generalstat's been, so I mean, the Prussians are kind of beaten. They are on the run. There's only a bit of resistance being put up by the likes of Blucher at this point. But yes, so at this point, yeah, Generalstat's happened. The Battle of Eylau is yet to happen, and so is Friedland. They're yet to still happen, so this one is just before. And yeah, it should be a really good one. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I actually don't know a lot about this battle. I don't know a lot about the Battle of Czarnowo. I'm also probably butchering the name like so many times, so I do apologize to my fellow Poles. That is where it is taking place in Poland. So yeah, it should be a fun one, that is for sure. And yeah, so we've got 4 French corps here. We've got Ugru, we have Bernadotte, we have Davout, and we have Lannes. So I will give you a prize if you know which of these corps was not at this battle historically. And if those of you who've gone and paused the video and then gone and found out and then commented, that's called cheating. But the answer is Bernadotte. Bernadotte is the one that wasn't here. I guess maybe this was for balance and they put him in, or maybe they had just no other option. I think they should just put in another Davout, but Davout is pretty strong, I guess. Can probably bring a lot of infantry for a fairly cheap price. Because Davout was kind of like the main man in this one. He managed to make a bridgehead across one of the rivers. I think it's like the river Reka or something like that. W-R-K-A. I'm probably butchering the name, but yeah. He made a bridgehead across the river, and he managed to push the Prussians and the Russians back. But yeah, it looks like the battle is just about sizing up. We are starting to see the Russian lines setting up over here by the river as well. So this is perfect, very historical. So it looks like they are going to defend this river line here. And I guess the French have to make a bridgehead across. There are a few crossings. I guess maybe they can't cross where there actually is river. Some of these maps you can, sometimes you can because it's not that deep. Sometimes you can. You can't, sorry. So yeah, there are a few crossings here. I guess the Prussians and the Russians will defend them pretty damn strong. and fiercely. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think cavalry is going to be really in favor of the coalition. I may be wrong. I may get proven wrong. We'll see that at the end of this video. I've only watched the first few minutes to see what it was like. And it's a pretty fun one, that's for sure. I've been told it's a pretty brutal fight and ends pretty closely. So I'm really excited for this one, that is for sure. But yeah, it looks like we've got howitzers as well back there somewhere hidden away with the coalition. And they're going off, trying to hit some voltigeurs over here, but missing them pretty easily. Actually seems like a... Oh, we got the Cousins of the Emperor. I always love this unit. Always love checking it out. The Cousins of the Emperor. The only way you can enlist into this unit is being a cousin of the Emperor. So, that would be funny if that was true. But that's 77 cousins that the Emperor is willing to lose there. Oh, he's got another one over here, so actually, so that's like another 77. Quick maths for you, that one. It's like 154 or something like that. Oh, artillery going off. I mean, big targets I would say would be the cavalry for the artillery. So if you take out the French cav, I think the coalition in a good spot because, like I said, there isn't much of it. I don't know how good the quality of the coalition cav is, but Prussia usually can bring good cav. So can the Russians usually, but we'll see. A building's been captured. Oh, so the French just captured this building over here by the river. Good position to hold until they put some voltigeurs in there. The French... Oh, we're just going on the map. We've just seen what is the NTW3 underworld. And guess what? It's nothingness and water. Oh, cavalry being hit over here, though. They've only taken a couple of casualties, but it's a start for the Russians. Also, Laguerre moving over here. No Emperors of the Emperor's cousins here, though. I was looking and seeing like, a lot of flashing units over here, but they're not really actually engaged. They're just getting bombarded. And oh boy, are they being bombarded. Look at this grand battery. My gosh. These are huge guns as well. These must be like 12, like 8 or 12 pounders maybe. You can usually, people say, oh, it's like the size of the guns doesn't really matter. But in NTW3, it is usually a common theme. Like the heavier the gun, the thicker it is. Like you see like the little 3-pounders the Austrians can bring. They're pop guns. This is definitely no 3-pounder. This is a big one. I'd say an 8 or a 12. But yeah, there are, how many of these are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guns. Oh my gosh. And that's one unit. That is a battery and a half. And we've got some dragoons that have got the job of defending them by the looks of it. And we've got another couple of guns over here. This is a horse artillery piece. So yeah, the Russians really going to dig in with this artillery. Whether that'll cost them... because I imagine this can't have there's actually multiple dragoon units. It's so big as this gun emplacement, it requires 2 dragoon units to defend it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no wonder the French are cowering back there. You've got their dragoons hidden in the forest, lands over here, yeah, trying to keep his cavalry protected. The artillery, I imagine here, yeah, getting hit hard by that battery. And we have got a little bit of a skirmisher fight, which I guess is really the first firefight of today's battle. We've got a little bit of a firefight going on. You can hear the new musket sounds that come with the new patch. They sound pretty good. I kind of like it. I don't know if that is historically more accurate. I don't know. No one really would know, I guess, what a musket would sound. Well, actually, that's not true. You can still fire a musket to this day. So, you know what it sounds like. A loud bang. Yeah, so you got the voltigeurs over here as well, dueling. I imagine these guys, yeah, winning slightly. They have cover with like this little hedgerow, so they must be winning this fight. Also, I think there's, well, 3 versus 2, sorry. So yeah, they would be winning that fight. Got Russian infantry holding here. They're very smart with these musketeers, ready to go and fight and die for their Tsar. The battle's spelled like a Tsar as well. C-Z-A-R. Czarnowo, something like that. I probably said the battle name 3 different ways already. I do apologize. I let you know, like, a little fact. I always, like, for battles names that I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce, I want to try and get it right at least once in the video. So I always Google Translate and try and, like get the audio and get the person to say it. So maybe the first time I might have said it right because it's stuck in my mind, but I've already, because this battle's got in the way, forgotten the name and how to say it. So go with Czarnowo. But I'm sure that's wrong already. So again, I really apologize. But anyway, whatever the name is, it's going to be a glorious one. Oh, cavalry getting hit here already. That cavalry shouldn't have jumped over that. I think they're just scouting forward, maybe looking for French forces. And oh boy, they would have found them. Got Devu over here. He's pushing hard. But this is a sign, though. This cav here crossing the river shows that you can cross anywhere. That bridge over on that far side means nothing. Really, a good thing because there is only one. That would mean only one land bridge. But yeah, good to see that you can cross just about anywhere, which actually makes the job for the coalition much harder because yeah, they can't defend this entire river line. They're gonna have to make a stand somewhere, and the French could just, I don't know, throw a few units across somewhere on a random flank, and then hopefully break through. Got a 6-pound over here that's firing. I would just shooting that general instead ahead of them. I wouldn't even care, just gen snipe. Let's take him out. He's right in my way. He's getting taken out. We have got infantry over here starting to fire on cavalry as well. Russian cav getting thrown forward here. A little, it's like a hussar unit or something like that being pushed forward, a light cav unit being thrown forward, and it's getting shot at. But here we go, musketeers now coming up as a response. I mean, hopefully these Russians can do okay. I mean, if they put another unit here, it would be probably even better because then the red line kind of secures their flank. Because that's one of the big things for the Russians, I think, is if they start to die with the flanks, then they're in real trouble. We have got a guard unit here. You can tell they're a guard unit because you just, well, look at their uniforms. They've got like gold on them, they've got the red trim as well, the gold and red trim. It's a clear sign of the Russian guard. Also got the white trousers. Not every like Russian guard, like, not every unit's in white trousers is a guard unit. It's always a good start. And you can see over here, these musketeers are just like in brown and green. I mean, actually some of them are wearing white, so take back what I said there. But yeah, most of them are like brown greatcoats of the musketeers. Looks like they're already getting turned on the flank here by Laguerre. And this is, I guess, probably the proper first line battle taking place, though. Yeah, you can see over here the line infantry Devu is going forward, and that's actually helping to rout or nearly rout some of these voltigeurs. Well, not voltigeurs. Skirmishes. I'm calling you voltigeurs. You're not French. You're Russian. Russian skirmishes. The Jaegers. Oh, we've got a cav charge coming. A little bit early. I wouldn't have given the attack order straight away. You've got to like right click near them, so they'll run, but they won't start screaming. It's a tactic I learned from playing a lot with the with my NTW3 community. Yeah, give me a lot of facts and knowledge on it. Oh, we have a charge over here. We do, in fact, have Russian cav going in. I don't know whether they could have killed this infantry unit off. It's on red morale. I feel like they could have. That was a chance. I guess maybe they're retreating because the hussars are coming up for the French. But yeah, already one Russian looks like Russian line infantry broken. You can see the cavs going around the flank. The Russian infantry here doesn't like it. Red morale and breaks actually didn't even like it at all. So not a good start from the Russians. I think they're going to try and catch this cav. They might just about do it. There goes the cav. Again, this infantry looks like it failed to form square. Just decided to not take form square. I mean, yeah, it's a foolish move, I felt. There you go, Russian cav breaking. And here's me saying that the Russian cav was better. It's already lost one unit. I mean, it looked like light cav, so nothing exciting really. Here we go. This is a dragoon unit going in. This is heavier than I think most of what the French army has. Yeah, they're just charging in. They're going to drop down any fleeing men. Easy kills for the Russians. Kill them. Kill them all in the name of the Tsar. Another Russian line infantry breaks. And the French are getting into a melee fight. Oh, there's a volley in the face and they're charging the guard. They'll break there instantly, yeah. An easy one. We've got the Carabineers going in against the Musketeer. I mean, Russians versus French in a melee fight, that's a tough fight for both sides. Neither side's going to do well out of that. Looks like that Russian cav broke, and as we're so close to the red line, it's just straight off the red line. It's out the game. We're seeing more Russian cav come across now. It's running its way across. It's a bit bold. I'll just march. If these Musketeers could fire a volley, they'd be okay, but it looks like they're going to receive a charge from the Hussars. And they're going to rout pretty quickly. They charged in. There you go. French cap gone. It looks like the Russians kind of rallied there. Both carabiniers and musketeers broke here for both sides. Look at the guard. They're going to send this unit packing as well. This is the Grenadiers of the Battalion Elite. Oh, this is Oudinot. His big unit here. 198-man unit. Jeez. They've got a face full of musket balls and did not appreciate it. What a cool unit, though. It's a 200-man unit. It must cost a bomb. But yeah, first real action on that side. We are seeing surrounding units here, but I think those are the skirmishers that have just been cleared out by Bernadotte and Davout. And now, as you can see, Davout is doing what he did in history, and he's getting himself a bridgehead. He's not the first, though. He's been beaten by Lannes. Lannes has got to cross the river first. And he's coming across in force, Davout. I mean, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units of infantry. Yeah, that's going to take some effort to get out. Lannes on this side here, going across with a small expeditionary force. It looks like he's getting pushed back. Lannes, to be honest, doesn't really have a lot. His army ends over here in the forest. Looks like he's actually almost spent. Where are these guards? I feel like could just go in. Instead of I don't like just falling up here, could they just not go in against the Legare? I feel like they could take them. Charge them and then just get the cav in there. I feel like they just deal with our French infantry pretty effectively. The Russians aren't probably going to win a line fight. I imagine like 1806 Russia does not do as well in the line fight as say 1806 France. There you go, a nice volley.
Our general is under attack.
Glorious volley. It looks like we've got some Russians coming up here. Have yet to see any Prussian infantry though. I don't think I've actually seen any. I may not have been paying attention. But yeah, it's all Russia so far. All Russia. Maybe that was the plan all along. Maybe the Prussian infantry faction is a higher pointer. I don't know. Again, another charge coming forward here from the Russian cav. Oh geez, the volley coming in, hitting this cav pretty hard. And they're turning their backs. They're already going for it. They didn't even break. Oh, here's Prussia. I am just blind. We have some musketeers here for Prussia set up. Looks like some light infantry. I'm pretty sure they are in green and they're lights. Give them the volley, boys. For the Kaiser. Very nice. Very nice. Oh my gosh, there's artillery like barrage over here. This is insane. It's like World War I level sort of artillery, like mass artillery before you like a bayonet charge. It's incredible. Again though, like I was saying, I'm gonna probably bang on like a broken track. They should just charge in with this guard unit. They're not even looking properly at the right unit. I mean, they're gonna get outgunned by Legare. They can out melee the Legare for sure. Legare would prefer to fight with a line fight. The guards do much better in a melee fight. I'm sure they've got good stats. Once you have some of these boys, these are like the Russian light infantry here, the Jaeger. Also just like Legare, Jaeger. But in their plain green uniform, everything stood out. Fire when ready. I don't know why I always put on a British accent. I should put on a Russian one. But that also might be a bit insulting. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the Russians here, the bodies are mounting up slowly. Winning slightly. Yeah, it's losing slightly. It's 50, I feel. Maybe not, actually. I feel like most are winning. Here we go though, the Prussians appearing a bit more en masse now. We have artillery over here also starting to fire. And because of that, we have Ogru retreating a little bit. He's not happy with that appearance. He's got a good artillery position up here though. He's got his artillery on a nice hill. He's over the battlefield. He can cover his own men and while also shooting the Russians. Looks like he only just reached in front of his own front lines. Jeez. Well, that is a bit concerning. He's actually brought some Hessian troops here as well. Hessian Fusiliers. So that's cool. Nice to see the multinational army being represented here. Again, Russian infantry here not doing so great. Prussian infantry also kind of starting to struggle. Taking a lot of losses here. of these light infantry. I feel like they have the range on the French as well. They shouldn't have to get this close. They're getting beaten hard for it. I mean, they're also taking on like multiple units of French. They've really stacked up their infantry here, the French. We've got Grenadiers, the line in behind here. You've got Henry Rothenburg with the Grenadier unit, and you've just got Etienne over here. Actually, he's in a Grenadier, but he is here. He clearly must be a good unit to be held in reserve. Oh, we're seeing a bayonet charge on the far flank. Light infantry here. I don't know if this is going to go well. Light infantry, you know, not necessarily the best in combat, but it seems like that's not gone great. Morale kind of staying low for the Russians right there. But maybe they will. The French morale also not looking great. Yeah, here not having a great time. He's losing slightly, which is probably going to matter who's got the more morale. There you go. Pierre broke. Can this infantry unit here flank? Needs to get some morale back. Put a volley in there, but I mean, we'll see. The Russians causing some havoc back there. That is for sure. The Russians really could be causing havoc on this flank as well, but they are not. The guards are still here. I don't know what strength they're at, but they need to get into the fight. Again, these French over here just shooting the Russian cav. It's just not on, really. They're going to need that Russian cav. They should just charge, put the guys out of their misery, out of their memory. I mean, that too. We could remove their memories as well as their heads. Yeah, the line fight continues here. Prussia losing no more men, actually. I thought he'd lost some more, but looks like it's just the same push that had already been made. It cost you so many men. Thought we were going to get a volley. Sadly not. Vive l'Emperor! Fight and die for your Emperor, boys. He's given you so many great victories at this point. And more to come. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I can hear a charge. We've got French cav going in. It's going to be countered, it looks like, by some Russian. But that does not look like it's gone well for the Russians. They routed. Prussian infantry here also close to routing. Red morale not looking great. Cheval here look like they're going to break themselves yet. A volley from the next door Prussian infantry formation there, doing enough to scare them off. Whether these guys can flank the French and cause these guys to retreat, I don't know. But yeah, Prussia being very wary, apart from a few units which is committed to the center. So I guess maybe Russia was just like begging. Seems like Prussia's gonna be a bit more docile. He's gonna be careful. He's not going straight in. I say that Russia's on the retreat again across the whole line. But yeah, still a bit of a fighting going out on this. I don't really know what's going on, and if anything, it looks like it's a worse angle now for the Russians. They're just shooting this cavalry here. I don't know whether the player's AFK or what, but yeah, he needs to get a move on. He needs to get killing. The French getting danger close right now to the Russians. That's bayonet charging range, for sure. You can't miss in this range, boys. If you're missing and not hitting one of these guys, you're doing something wrong. Oh, that's a good volley. French still in phase. Morale, they're not even phased. They're behind the Russians, though. They could just charge them. They're just ignoring the Russians. Well, that's crazy. They're putting good volley into these grenadier unit as well. Like, I mean, I don't know why Davu left that unit alone. It's a healthy unit of Russians there that's just annoying you. I think the Prussians had a unit that rallied, didn't do anything for them. Here we go, I can hear Cav coming up. Bernador on the way. Here he goes. What's he going to go after, I wonder? I don't know, maybe the artillery, I don't know. Voltigier's over here, up the routes by the looks of it. The French really pushing up against the Prussians right now. What have the Prussians got here? Just more infantry. Looks like they got some grenadiers out on this flank here, which is good. They're going to need those guys to form squares. Yeah, here goes the line fight, still going on. The Russian is still in behind. What on earth is going on there? Yes, if you want to send in your own NTW3 replays, I want to have them featured on the channel. Do remember to join my Discord. That is the best place to do so. Plenty of NTW3 fans there as well. That would be more than happy to play some battles or just chat to you about NTW3 and help you out with anything you need really for the mod. I don't really know what's going on over here. I don't know what on earth those cavalry units are doing. There you go. The Russians still fighting on here hard. God, this mod's glorious. It really is. It really makes me feel like we need an NTW2. Oh, we got French. No, yeah, we've got French cav not in the front lines. Charging the guns here. They are being repulsed by some Russian cav, some Russian lights. They've been sent packing. Well done to France still. Did a good job. Got a big cav unit moving up here. Looks like a dragoon unit. Looks like they're just going to go for maybe an all-out charge on the French there before they can set up. I don't know. We'll see in a moment. Surely they charge. Surely these guys charge. Well, maybe not. They're just going to stand there? No. They'll do something now. Maybe it's a misclick by the Russian player. I don't know. Maybe didn't mean to move them that far forward. Then he makes some space for the artillery here to the Prussians. Make some space and let it just start pounding these French units here. Got a chasseur over here. Looks like he's taking on just another like sort of dragoon, sort of light dragoon unit. Should be enough to maybe sort the chasseurs in theory, but who knows? I mean, apparently in the patch, light cav's been improved. But I thought it was just maybe elite cav, but maybe just all cav is all light cav's been improved. If that is the case, it's very good because it makes it a bit more viable in the game. These guys still blasting away the French there. And again, they're still just, I don't know what they're doing, but the Russians have finally woken up and they're going to, but yeah, the guards, they're just getting out of there. They're like, yeah, not for us. They are not hanging around. And fair enough, Lanz, I feel like, didn't really win this fight, but somehow he has come out on top here, and I don't know what this formation's going on. I don't know what the Lanz player is doing, but yeah, something's happened there, and they just decided to, like, leave those guys in there, but Lanz is quite happily moving his grenadiers down. His grenadiers du Battalion, and they're elite. Oudinot, a future marshal of France, moving along with his grenadiers. And we've got a cav charge going in here. We've got artillery being taken out there by the Russian light cav. They're taking out some 4-pounders. Looks like they're going to go for a side charge here on the French. Try and stop them. It looks like they formed some sort of square. Call that a square? Well, I don't know. Maybe they didn't. yeah, at least they got the guns. It's really going to help in this line fight, because obviously guns can really turn those fights around. Oh, bit of a flank going on here though with a Bernadotte getting in here with a few units, flanking the Russians, forcing them to turn a few units to take on those. I don't know whether a 2v2 really is in favor of the Russians there. I feel like they're going to need more units to deal with just a mere 2 units. We've got the Prussians though going in, actually ambushing the French here, or the Hessians I should say, with their cavalry. So nicely done there by, it looks like some dragoons or something like that, just, yeah, getting in there. It looks like the French as well, losing on this side here. The chasseurs being, well, not quite routed, but they're going to get scared off here by the dragoons. And actually, yeah, the second unit coming in here, they're going to catch the chasseurs, rout them, and that could leave Bernadotte's forces in the lurch. Well, it's actually really all group. It's Bernadotte's, oh, maybe not actually. He's turning that around. He's rallied, and it looks like these dragoons could be about to die, and that is huge. Could be the opposite. Prussia looked like he was meant to win this fight. It was 2v1, and instead the ones won. He really should have won that. The morale was just not with the French. Somehow he's managed to, I don't know, lose that. But the Prussians now have a lack of cav instead on that flank there. Hopefully they brought some more. I mean, they're known for their cav spam sometimes, so I beg Russians do some decent volleys, inflicting good heavy losses on the French there. Certainly a bloody fight, that is for sure. That looks like some Voltigeurs in behind here, just getting routed easy enough. Got a line infantry coming forward here for Lanz. Must be one of his final units, to be honest. He looks like he's out. They know what they need to move. They need to move the big battery of Russian guns wherever it is. It's always been taken out. I think it might have actually been taken out. I don't know when that happened, but I'm sad that this has happened. Oh yeah, there's Russian cab just sitting here. Oh no, sorry, French cab just sitting here. Chasseur Cheval just sat there, and I guess that's why we have Russian dragoons sort of protecting. I mean, they're not really protecting their general at all. You could definitely go in and just snipe them. I don't know what is going on there with the Russians. They need to get their act together. Russians repositioning. Are they going to defend this church and graveyard here? Very aptly defending here, boys. This is maybe where you're going to die. I think these are like guard light infantry. Because again, they've got that golden trim going on their shako there. I mean, the other guys don't know. They're just a basic black hat. A lot of the light infantry actually setting up in this graveyard here. Just going to try, I guess, outshoot the French. We're going to go with the light infantry and try and just, yeah, outshoot them. Prussia very thin on the ground, at least what we can see. And looks like this gun's going to get pinched. Is it a horse artillery as well? So this is a big, big loss. Don't want to lose these guys. Yeah, volley going in. They're going to try and hit those guns, take them out. So the French certainly have recreated history in the sense that they have very much got a bridgehead. They are, well, they're very much more than halfway across the bridge. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I'm worried that maybe the replay's bugged or something, because surely the French would have taken this unit out. They wouldn't just leave it back here to just get killed. But I mean, we are going to see a Legare unit maybe fire on it. I don't know. Maybe the French player would. Sure, he wasn't being unobservant. I think this is. Maybe it's a little bit of a bugged out game, but yeah, they just rout those chasseurs. But hey, it's still been very enjoyable, that is for sure. French have retreated a little bit though, trying to reform up. Is here Henry waiting with his Grens. Yeah, both sides reforming, preparing. Looks like the French, you know, pretty thin on the ground here. The Russians, although they have more numbers, to be honest, certainly to take on these two flanks here. And the Russians have been reinforced by that far flank as well. I mean, the Russians still got one unit there, whether that was the plan, just to try and tie it down with one while their guards and such like retreat here to the church. Maybe the case. Yes. Looking on the battle from above. It's hard to weigh up who's going to win this one. The French way of quality, coalition just out of numbers, I'd say. The French are firing, but the Prussians aren't firing back. Maybe that's because the artillery's in front. I have no idea. Loss of La Guerre over here. The Emperor's cousins. They're getting ready to fire once again. Kill it in their uncle's name. Is that right? No, cousin's name, not uncle. They'd be nephews. Nephews of the Emperor. That'd be even funnier, actually. Looks like Lanz's grenadier unit over here is going to try and flank the Russians, or they're going to try and stop it with a couple of units of musketeers. We'll see if that's effective. There's a bit of fighting going on. It is very much a bit of just like sharpshooting here and there, as we have tiny little units like this one over here. Like, screw it, we rallied, but we're not going to achieve much. Their white pristine uniforms do look good. The Russians and the French over here really dueling now. Again, the French have that hedgerow where they can minimize casualties. The Russians and the Prussians very much out of the way. I have a feeling that maybe the Prussians could actually stay near the river. They couldn't retreat too far, and they couldn't advance too far past the river. But yeah, some glorious volleys there from the Russians. They're putting up a stern defense. Actually inflicted some pretty good casualties here on the French, as you can see. Also helped by the 4-pounder there doing some good work shelling their own men. A new artillery position's been formed up here. It's a 12-pounder now coming up from Bernadotte. He'd watched the 4-pounder of Napoleon break and die, and now he's going to try it himself. Got a unit breaking over here. It's that tiny little unit. I was talking about earlier with you and Sharp. Weird formation this is, by the way. Circle formation. Very, very weird. Must be a new style of fighting. I've never seen it before. I feel like the French just need to stomp over the Prussians. They're there for the taking. Just as the French morale on that side is just as fragile. Well, it's not quite as fragile as that one. I mean, it does actually help. I think that the Prussians might have been shooting their own men in the back there. Or their own allies, I should say. It might be happening again here, I'm not sure. So these guys being... Oh yeah, there's dead bodies back behind these guys. They've definitely been shot back. That does not help with morale. And also this one here needs to be careful, because it is sort of like, you know, flanking a unit. Like, these guys on the left definitely will be shooting their own men. Or could be definitely shooting their own men. Musket ball flies anywhere. It's not like direct like a bullet. You could fly off to the left and all of a sudden you just killed your own like comrade. Especially if you're set behind the enemy. There you go. Finally that Russian light infantry unit gets into action, does some work. I don't know what it was doing, but it's got left by Davout, who's now been punished. He's lost a unit for Lanousse, Pierre. And now I don't know what they're going to do. They could go after general, could go after battery. Yeah, the Prussians really holding on by the skins of their teeth. We've got the Les Barons moving forward here. I can't see really any Prussians that are really holding on. I don't know if they've lost their general. They might have. Oh yeah, their general's routing. He's all the way back here. So yeah, that's probably why Prussia is doing so poorly. Lost their general. There you go. Look at that. The Les Barons didn't even need to touch them. That should be the same with these guys. Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. Grenadiers do like to scrap. So then these guys go in for a scrap. And there you go. They have routed those grenadiers. And it looks like the French are starting to turn it around in a few areas. Certainly this right flank for the French, really turning that around. I mean, you need to be careful with that rear because it seems like a lot of Russian units like getting behind. There's another one back here, in fact. Oh, this is a Dragoon unit. What's that going after? Nothing. It's not going after anything. Let's go after something. Just running off into the distance. Let's go for a general or something. Ah, the French also know the circle tactic. Excellent stuff, boys. It is the secret tactic of the area. Good old grenadiers with the bear skins. Like, there's melee fighting going on, but there isn't any actually going on. I don't know what the heck that is all about. Here we go though, cavalry charge going in. They're going to go after these infantry units back here. Bernadotte doesn't seem like he can form a square. Yeah, he is not able to. Pierre Barrois over here. In a bit of trouble. I don't know how good these dragoons are, but they're all out, all in white. It's going to be a sign of nobility or something. Or good. So it needs to be taking casualties. I just go and rear charge all the Frenchies over here or something like that. There's a lot of weak units over there, a few weak links in the line. Not sure how the French allowed this cavalry unit to just slip on through, but it has. Oh, morale! What happened? Did they just? I don't know what happened. Did they get hit by friendly artillery or something? They're taking some nasty volleys now. I mean, morale is all of a sudden like orange, green, orange, green. Or they're gonna go for these guns. This is smart. Take some more guns out, at least before you die. Oh, I think they broke just as they got back to the guns, which is a real shame. But there you go. At least 2 of the guns are gone, and they actually did break it. So that is, I guess, a win in the end for the Dragoons of Russia. To get at least something out of that charge. A risky charge, it really was. The French here repositioning while getting shot by the Russians who shooting their own men. I feel like I mean, why don't we just move these 2 up? Move them up a little bit so they just don't shoot. Also, just change the angle. The French are changing their angle. Oh. Big bayonet fight down here. Got John D. Billy. Got the Henry and his grenadiers as well, all fighting in here. Whenever any grenadiers battle, they're going to need the Russian guards to come in and help. But yeah, lots of musketeers routed there. Big, big problem. Where are the guard? Some more here. I have a feeling the guard's going to get the designated role of holding the building. I may be wrong. Or holding the courtyard. I may be, like I said, maybe wrong, but I imagine that would just be the case. The guard's such a good unit. It's got pretty solid melee attack and melee defense skills, and it also, I imagine, can inspire or at least have some sort of ability to help it. Keep firing, boys! Use this low walls as protection. Yeah, I don't know really what's going on over here. I think the replay might be slightly bugged. Someone will have to let me know because who played, because yeah, these guys haven't moved an inch. Neither is this Russian infantry here, or this cav that would have definitely been doing stuff. But hey, what can you do? I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit. I just see if any like changes. I don't know if it will. Got I don't know, got a little artillery crew. I guess it's lost its guns and rallied it. Looks like the Russians are making sort of a last stand over. We've got guardsmen getting ready. And more light infantry here. Varying quality. Got one Prussian infantry left, by the way, as well. It looks like a just basic musketeer. It's actually abandoning the Russians. Like, we're going home. We're going back to Berlin. Get out of here. I mean, Berlin at this point occupied by the French. Probably not a place you want to be as a Prussian. I don't know what these guys are even firing at. I mean, they could be shooting their own men, for all I know. I mean, that's Auto 227 to the extreme, just gunning your own men down with a musket. Something a bit wasteful about that. I got to that point in the game where if you see like a small unit like this, like the Voltigeurs here, break, you think, oh, is it a general? I mean, he's on foot, but it's possible generals go to foot. Again here, Grenadiers apparently in combat. I can't see any obvious signs that they are. But yeah, here we go. Looks like the French going in. They're going into melee right now down here. God, actually Henry's broken here against the light infantry. That is surprising. I mean, the light infantry will probably get routed here with one solid volley from the French. And then go the French. And we're taking on the Ruskies who have routed. But in come more of the Ruskies. They got the Russian musketeers ready to go. They're going to ignore each other. What are they going after? They'll go into this unit here. Alright. There you go. The Russians break almost instantly into that fight there. I guess they're trying to cause panic, force the French to block, maybe. Don't know if it's really working. I see a lot of dying Russians right now. General pushing forward here. You need to be careful if you get shot at. It doesn't seem like, yeah, the neither side really brought a lot of cav. I feel like the French could have maybe brought stronger cav, but also so could the coalition. Yeah, the Russian center is fully gone now. There's not much left. There's a cav unit over here, like I said, that's just, I don't know what it's doing, whether the player's AFK or whether, like I said, I think the replay might be a little bit broken. Just a little bit. But we got units going in here that look like they're going to melee with the Russians down here, so we'll see how this goes. These guys, I imagine, will get rear charge, and they might in fact break. That might be enough. Just one French unit behind them to threaten the flank might be enough to break these guys. We'll try and kill a few units off, yeah, or a few of these men off here, but yeah, they broke pretty easily. The general just running across the front line. But what is the front line at this point? They've got French one side of them, French the other side. Just French everywhere. Too many French. To be honest, that's the story of the Napoleonic Wars. Too many French. Go the Russians again. As much of a charge. battle, not looking great. General
Men of
breaking
the
there.
team, sir, and must
And it looks like the French are just going to clean up what remains of the Russians here pretty easily. So yeah, as you can see, the Russians are just going in a few spots. A grand bayonet charge against grenadiers as well. You have no hope. Not even all grenadiers. Still over 100 men left in that unit. Impressive. They are elite after all. There's still a Russian army over here. It's just doing stuff, but I'm not even sure what it's firing at. Oh, routing French. Okay. I don't know if the I don't know whether these guys are booked out. The center seems like it was fine. It seems like the flanks maybe had a few issues. I don't know whether it's the patch that's damaged the replay or something. It is a 9.3 replay, I believe. Anyway, I'm gonna just make a cut now when we get to the end screen, if we've got one, that is. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that battle. It was certainly a fun one. That is the Battle of Czarnowo. Which was fought in 1806. The French look like they're going to win it once again. Was a pretty brutal one from what we got from our perspective. But yeah, it's been a fun one, that's for sure. But yeah, it looks as though the replay here has frozen, so there must be, I think, something a little bit wrong with it. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, so yeah, we are back, and as you can see, I couldn't manage to get the replay to restart, and I reloaded it. It seemed to keep pausing a similar sort of point as the Russians were getting routed. So I don't know whether it's the patch or something like that that just corrupts the replay or what. But yeah, it was a very fun one anyway to see. I don't know what I would have done differently with the Russians. I certainly would have tried to, like, the Prussians I feel like made a big mistake with that cav fight out on the left. I feel like their dragoons had it won, and then they didn't somehow. They managed to, the chasseurs rallied and managed to turn it around. But yeah, I certainly feel like the Russians need to protect their big guns that they had, like they were just pounding Lands as well, doing a really good job there. I think they did defeat Lands by looks of it, because they managed to move troops like the Guard over to support there, so they did a good job there at least. And I feel like they just need to take advantage of their cav superiority. Like I said, they had dragoons, like heavier stuff than like the hussars and the chasseurs that the French could bring. I think they need to like really drill that advantage home a little bit more. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy the NTW3 action. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And I'll see you guys in the next historical battle.